Hello and welcome to the Renaissance English History Podcast Tudor Minute, your mostly daily dose of all things related to medieval and Renaissance England. So I recently came across a madrigal by Thomas Weelkes called the Andalusian Trader, the Andalusian Trader. And it's a really interesting madrigal because it talks about this Andalusian trader that comes into England with these stories of how strangely Fogo burns, which was a volcano that was burning in the Cape Verde Islands for about 100 years, and stories of all of these new products that were being brought into England. And I think it's such a great representation of what was going on with trade in Elizabethan England, where through Spain, all of these things were coming, all these new products were coming from the Americas, and then the rest of Europe was starting to get their hands on it. And I live in Andalusia right now, so it's really interesting for me to look at the history of this madrigal. And Weelkes himself lived in Chichester, which is a port town. It's actually kind of close to where the Black Death came into England several hundred years beforehand, but it's a port town. So he would have had access to all of these sailors and all of these traders coming from Spain with their wares, with these amazing new dyes and amazing products that came from the New World. And you would have heard about these places like Mount Fogo, this volcano that erupted for 100 years, or the volcano in Iceland was called Thule at the time, and it was Hekla was this volcano that erupted in 1597. And so in 1600, Weelkes wrote this madrigal called the Andalusian Trader. And it's such a fascinating madrigal. And so I'm going to put a link in the comment section to be able to have you listen. There's a great recording by the Hilliard Ensemble singing it. But it's really interesting to think about. Also in Andalusia, close to where I live, is Cadiz, which Francis Drake had raided in 1597. Cadiz was the port through which a lot of the corsairs and a lot of the explorers were coming back. And also I live about an hour and a half from Seville, which is where Columbus set sail. So in 1597, Francis Drake comes and raids the port of Cadiz. And then in 1588, the Spanish Armada went back to England. That was kind of their response to Drake raiding Cadiz. It's really windy. I'm outside because Hannah's inside getting ready for bed. Anyway, so I'm going to put a link in the comment section to this great recording that the Hilliard Ensemble has. It's on YouTube, so you can just scoot over there and watch it. It's really, really brilliant. And just when you listen to it, look at all the wordplay, at the fish that are jumping up through the ocean and the way the notes go up and down. And Weelkes wrote it in 1600. He was 24 years old. And just imagine what it would be like to be a 24-year-old right in, like, growing up, ready to take on the world with all of these stories surrounding you, and then listen for that music. It's such an exciting piece. So that's your Tudor Minute for the day. To learn more about the Renaissance English History Podcast, you can go to http://englandcast, ENGLANDCAST, englandcast.com, or you can go to facebook.com/englandcast. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.